Hi, hello. Let's see who's going to be the first one in today. Because I'm a little bit early. I'm catching you all on the hot pounder. I'm usually late, so I thought I'll come in a bit early today and get them all fooled. Yeah. Let's get my little camera moved up a little bit. Hi, Nathan. Hi, Chris. Yep. Oh, they're still not right, that camera, is it? I know I thought I'll be early today because I'm normally later. Oh, don't ask about the weather. The garden's struggling. It's doing okay. But the weather's... Yeah. Hi, Sophie. Yeah, washed all the bedding today, put it all on the line, and of course, the minute it went on the line, pitter-patter raindrops. Oh, it's in the conservatory now anyway. It did half dry, to be fair, before the rain came down. So it's not too bad, is it? It's in the conservatory. It'll dry eventually. But I'm a bit knackered today. I did too much. Too much yesterday. I decided, don't ask me why, one of the hottest days around, I decided I would strip the kitchen and the bathroom, wash everything in sight, mop all the floors and everything. And, you know, I'm stupid like that. I don't wait for a cold day. No, she waits for the hottest day ever and decides to clean everywhere and hoover everywhere. Anyway, it's done now. So today, of course, I stripped the bed. I thought, yeah, it'd be another nice day. Looked okay. Stripped the bed on the line. Blow, blow, blow. Rain came down. So anyway, it's almost dry because it's very hot, very muggy. I mean, they've threatened thunderstorms, and I wouldn't be surprised because it feels like that. It feels kind of heavy. I don't know whether you can feel seagull rain. Oh, we've had that as well, yeah. Splatter, splatter all over my chair outside, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's not headed its way over here because it's done everything else, yeah. Hi, Linda. Well, it was Fleetwood Carnival today, so obviously I didn't go, but of all the days, if they had it yesterday, it would have been a gorgeous day, wouldn't it? And it was my friend's son's birthday today, sorry. And while I was sat reading in the conservatory, 3 little planes flew by in formation. So I was teasing him and put on, is that your flyby? You fly past for your birthday? Because he's in the Air Cadets, yeah. So I don't know whether they were there for the carnival. They were tiny little planes and they flew across like in a V formation. They weren't fancy planes. It wasn't the Red Arrows or anything posh like that. It was just 3 little tiny planes. But I heard them, of course, because the engine noise from 3 planes is a lot more obviously than 1 plane, which we usually get by. Sunday's the day we get all the amateurs out. You know, they must come from Blackpool Aerodrome on the tiny little, planes and light planes and things like that. Hi, Dottie Gran. So it's usually on a Sunday we get the weekend flyers, let's say. So anyway, today I was in agony, of course, because I did too much yesterday. But, I don't learn my lesson, do I? I think I'm fine. I carry on going when I should stop. But no, I think, no, I'll just do a bit more. Just do a bit more. I don't know whether you're the same. Just do a little bit more. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. And then the day after, like, oh. And I've just dropped my ball of wool. Oh. Hey. I'm doing granny squares. I finished my 9th shawl. Well, I'm on my 3rd camera. The first 2 cameras, the first camera I had to hold the charger in because it won't charge up on its own without, I sit there for an hour holding the charger because it's wiggling loose. So that video, the PC wouldn't have it. It said SD card not formatted, gone, and it wiped it clean. So I gets the other camera out, the one my son got me. Oh, the video not only turned out blue, I looked like a Smurf, but also my mouth was moving at the wrong speed to, the voice. So I thought, can't do that one. Gets sent away, gets a third camera, and that wouldn't work. So I'm just losing my temper with the whole thing. So if you remember, I got a guy in. Obviously it costs me money. I got a guy in who fixed my printer. So I thought, right, I'll get him in. So I gets him in, and he sorted it out, touching wood. Hopefully, I haven't tried it yet. Oh, and I forgot to say, the video I made with this new camera, not only would it not upload, but it recorded it in 4 little pieces, like 5 minutes long. I can't edit. I couldn't join them together. So that was that one gone. Anyway, he's adjusted, he's twiddled, he's fiddled. People who know what they're doing know what to do, don't they? Anyway, he's got it, he thinks, so to record 30 minutes in one go. But today I was busy doing other things, so I didn't get round to making a video. He said, let me know how you go on. I said, right, I will. Yeah. Oh boy, that is hot. That'll have to cool down for a bit. And he's also sorted it so I can use this camera, hopefully, to make a video. Hi, Shad. Hi, Munchkin. The necklace is like, it looks like it's fabric woven round, if you can see it or not. That's what it is. It's pink to make the boys wink. I had a different dress on today, actually. And I don't remember ever wearing it before because it was beautiful. It had shoestring straps. It was all flowery. And it had all like sequin motif down it. But when I put it on, it was like eyes down look like for a full house. I would have been banned off here for what not moving. It was, So I'm going to have to put some kind of a modesty vest or something. I've got plenty of lace. So I'm going to have to, but I can't remember whether I must have never worn that dress before. Otherwise I would never have worn it like that. And it's a really pretty dress, so I don't feel like selling it or donating it because I like it, yeah. So I've got some black lace and pink lace on other kinds of lace. So I'm going to see what I can do. It's so low here, so I'm going to have to do something with it. So you may see the dress again. I can wear it in the garden, of course, but I wouldn't wear it to go out in. It's a little bit like something from Barbara Windsor would wear in a Carry On film, if you know what I mean. If you're in England, you know what I'm talking about. It's just like your puddings are boiling over, So I'm thinking, when did I ever wear that dress? I know I never wore it last year because the weather was too bad. But maybe I never wore it. Maybe I just bought it and never wore it. So, yeah, modesty, something modesty to put in there. Yeah, it was a bit too. I don't mind a lowish neck, but that was lo and behold, yeah. As my dad would call it. Yeah, pudding's boiling over, yeah. It definitely was. I would never have gone out in public with that on. And yet it fits really nice. It holds you up. You don't need a bra or anything. I'm sorry, boys. But you don't need a bra because it holds you up. But that was the problem. You see, it held me up and everything was enough said. Anyway, I tried one of my strawberries was ripe enough to eat. Oh, so tasty. You realise, don't you, how awful supermarket fruit is when you taste something that's home grown. It was such a lovely little strawberry. I've got about another 8 coming through, but that was the only one that was big and ripe. Oh, it was delicious. It was delicious. And I've got about 10 tiny little tomatoes. They're green at the minute, but they're growing. They're growing. Yeah. And I've caved in. I've bought a tiny, it's a little greenhouse thing that goes against the wall, but it's made of wood, and it's got, what's it called? Polypropylene glass stuff. Not real glass, but it's not blowing away in the wind. Because I'm sick to death of that little plastic grate. Nothing's growing in it because it practically blowing away all the time. So I've caved in and ordered one. So I'm going to have to be very good this month and not eat. Not eat at all. Never mind. Yeah, polycarbonate, that's what it is, yeah. So I've got to put it together when it arrives. It's coming next week, I think. But I'm determined. Probably not this year, but next year I want to go more into growing something to eat, you know. I've got lettuce growing at the moment, but that's about it, really. Or tomatoes and strawberries, but yeah, it is hot, isn't it? Yesterday, with doing all the cleaning and that, all I wanted was, I had beans on toast. And it's one of those tiny little things of beans, you know, not a tin. You know, the little pot things that you warm up in the microwave. And that was enough for me yesterday. A roast chicken tree. Oh, I've ordered 2 tiny little conifers. Yeah, I know they grow big. But by the time they grow big, hopefully I won't be here to bother about them. Anyway, I'm going to leave them in a little pot so they won't be able to grow any bigger than the pot, will they? Because the tree at the front door is dying rapidly. So I thought, I want something else to put there. So I've got 2 little conifers and 2 little plant pots, yeah. Oh, who else has had COVID? Somebody else I know has had COVID. I can't think who it was, though. I can't think who it was. They were supposed to be going somewhere and doing something, and they couldn't do it because they had COVID. I won't have that injection anymore. Oh, God, look at that. Not. I don't care. I'll take my chances with COVID. I'm not having another injection. They can buzz right off. I ain't having another. I was more ill with the injection than I was when I had the COVID, if you know what I mean. So I am not having another COVID injection. They keep sending me memos. You have not had a COVID injection. No, and I ain't having one. Yeah, I had 3, and the third one nearly flattened me. And I'm not usually, nothing usually happens to me with injections. I'm one of these who says, oh, no, injections don't bother me. Yeah, nothing ever happens to me. Oh, spoke too soon, didn't I? The third one nearly flattened me. Why has it gone into a knot? Oh, I know why. The lady who gave me this ball of wool is blind, and when she rewinds all her balls of wool into balls, and she winds them in the most strange fashion. So every time I start, she gives me the ends. She's making little hats for the maternity unit for the premature babies. So when she gets 100-gram ball, she makes 3 hats, and then there isn't enough left over to make the 4th hat. And with her being blind, she doesn't want to do stripes or do anything like that because she gets confused. So she's been giving me the bits left over, you know, to put into me shawls and things. So, of course, it's gone into a... I'll show you. That's how she winds them. They're a little bit strange, the way she winds them. I wind mine into a round ball, with a thumb hole where I've had my thumb in it. Oh, God, it's on the floor. See what I mean? That's the way she winds them. When you start to use them, they fall apart. I should rewind them because I've got, what do you call them? Oh, not a Swift. That's what you put them on, isn't it? No. A yarn winder thing, yeah. Hi, Jean. I'm untangling a knot in my wool. And now the ball of wool's gone underneath the desk. Which is annoying me no end. Yeah, I got paid yesterday and it went to my head. So I ordered the thing. I ordered the little wooden greenhouse. I'm like, Janet, what are you doing? You're sorting out your craft table. I haven't got a craft table. I've just got a mess. So you might actually get video number 4, which will be showing you. Yeah. Oh, the video that recorded itself in 4 little bits chopped a whole chunk out of it anyway. So half of the shawls I was showing you were missing anyway. So even if I hadn't been able to edit and fasten them all together, you'd have still been bits missing. So I will try again. Video number 4, camera number 3. Is it any wonder Janet is broke? See what I do for you? I hope you all appreciate it. The fact I'm spending all my money just to make a video. Oh, never mind. Right, I'm nearly at the end. Oh, gosh. I thought I was nearly at the end. And it's raining again. I always know it's raining because I can hear it on the conservatory roof, and I've got the door to the conservatory open. Not the one to the outside, the one to the kitchen. And it's got a roof that I can hear it raining. In fact, I often know it's raining long before I see it because I can hear it. So what are we all doing today? Oh, dearie me. Right, I've got 26 people in and I've only got 15 thumbs up. So I know I sound like a broken record, but can you stick your thumbs in the air, please? And then Janet will be happy. Yes, I had thunder the other morning. It woke me up. Ba-boom, it went, yeah. I thought, I was happily sleeping till it went ba-boom. But when you wake up like, what happened? Where? What? When? Where? I hate being woken up with the sort of. I like to come too slowly. I'm a delicate little flower. Don't laugh. I am a delicate little flower that likes to be woken up gently. Preferably by a handsome young man bearing a cup of coffee, but that never happens, does it ever? Even when I had a handsome young man. Well, I didn't have a handsome young man. When I had a young man, anyway. He never brought me a coffee. I've just been fighting with this. It's in a knot, but it's because of the way she winds the ball of wool. And she winds them in a bit of a... Before I started doing this, I should have got my ball winder out and rewound them all, yeah. But of course, Janet doesn't do things like that. That's obvious, isn't it? Yes. And if it's anything that's obvious, Janet doesn't do it because she's thick. Yay. Yeah, I did the hoovering, mopped the kitchen floor, washed all the bath mats and the towels and everything yesterday. I was a busy little bee. Busy little bee. I don't know whether they managed to get the carnival in Fleetwood today because of the rain. I don't know. Right, I've got to go and get the The back scratcher comes in handy if it's only for rescuing balls of wool from under the desk. Well, she winds really weird balls, does my friend. I mean, she is blind, so I've let her off for that. Oh. Right, so let's have a little look what we're having next. I'm trying to do all the squares different colours, so I'm just digging in the ball. And every time I think I'm getting to the end of all my oddments, people give me more. I mean, they all know I'm doing it for a good cause, you know. So I've got 9 different shawls at the moment. I mean, it's number 14 if you count all the ones I've already donated. But I've got 9 to give to her. But she did mention she wanted some lap blankets. And you know me, I cannot do a blanket to save me soul. So I'm doing granny squares, yeah. And I've still only got 19 thumbs up and there's 27 people in the room. That means 8 people are not complying. So you get smack bottoms and you get sent to your room without the telly. We have to have our rules and regulations, don't we? Yes. Oh, I started watching this video about this woman in Iran and they're doing the house up. Honestly, she drags the cooker outside and she splashes water all over it with a hose pipe. And then she cleans the, what do you call it, the air conditioning with a hose pipe. And I'm like, it's electric. What are you doing? Oh. And she does the same thing in the house with the floor. You know, the tiles are going to start lifting off the floor, aren't they? Because she's drowning everything in water. She never heard of a mop and bucket. And her little boy, oh. She said to him today, go and get Mummy a knife from the kitchen. He's 2. And I'm like, obviously they have a different regime over there. And he's so naughty. He wants a good smack bottom, honestly. Yeah, exactly, Chris. She's got to blow herself up. But if you watch them doing anything, they like twist wires together and put them like, oh my God, it's an accident waiting to happen. And they don't have a step ladder. They stand on a tripod thing when they're doing anything. And I'm like, oh my God, you're going to fall. And of course, she's wearing a long dress that's right to the ground. And they wear them flip-flop things, don't they? And she's climbing up things. I'm like, oh. It's like watching an accident, watching and waiting for an accident to happen. I mean, obviously they wouldn't show it on a video if it did. But you're like, oh dear Lord. Health and safety is not their strong point at all. But you know when you're fascinated to watch it because it's like danger. I started watching it quite by accident. I was doing something else, watching another video. And you know how they drift onto the next video, don't they, if you're not watching. And you start watching, you know, somebody grating carrots after a while, don't you? You know, you don't know what you're watching. I mean, I just wish that when I'm watching a crocheting video, if it was to go on to another video, it would show me another crocheting video, you know. Yeah, you can get electrocuted even when things are us because they just come adrift, don't they? You know, it comes a bit loose in the plug, don't it? But as I say, it's not my problem. She didn't survive, no. That's the trouble. I nearly lost my little boy when he was 2. We had a plug. You don't think, because the baby was just kind of walking and toddling and that, you don't think these things out. And normally we had a fire guard around the fire. And the people who had the house before us, he must have shaved in front of the mirror. And he had a little round plug thing like that with two holes in, to put a razor in. We never thought no more about it. And my son, he was just about walking. He got do you remember metal tail combs that you used to do your hair with? He must have got it out of my bag and decided he would poke it down this hole. And we didn't know that the plug was still live because we'd never used it. Yeah, we'd been there 12 months, never used it. Boom, he shot across the room. And I'm like, oh my God, what's he done? And he picked himself up and he said, it wasn't me, Teddy did it. I said to my husband at the time, I said, take that plug off and make sure you take the wires out, because we didn't even think it was live because we'd never used it, but it was still live. So it wasn't live after that. My husband disconnected it all. I said, I'm not having that happening again. But it was the way he said, I didn't do it. Me no do it. Teddy did it. No, Teddy didn't do it. It was you. Oh, I've got to do this horrible green ball now. Oh, well. Anyway, all did stupid things. I mean, I used to take my transistor radio thing into the bathroom with me. And we used to take heaters into the bathroom, didn't we? Admittedly, they were nowhere near the bath, but I mean, we still took them in. Because the bathroom didn't have any heating, with no radiators, with no anything. So it was blooming freezing. So when you went for a bath in the winter, you used to drag the electric fire in with you and plug it in outside. I mean, now it's all health and safety, isn't it? It's a wonder we all survived when you think about it. But I think as kids, we had more common sense. Does that sound? I don't know whether our parents taught us more common sense or whether it came naturally. I don't know whether we were told not to touch things and we didn't. Whereas if you tell a kid today not to touch something, they go and touch it, don't they? I mean, I think if... Hi, Lizzie. I think we did as we were told more back in the day, didn't we? Well, this little boy in Iran, if she tells him no, he just goes and does it. Mm. Oh, we did all sorts, didn't we, Dottie? That would be considered to be dangerous. We didn't know any different, though, then, did we? We were all a bit, oh, God, I'm really hot. It's muggy, isn't it? It's going to thunder. It is, because it's muggy. When you get that headachy kind of feeling that it's going to go boom any minute now. As long as it doesn't blow my PC up. Do you remember when I lived in Prestwich and the thunder and lightning blew my telly up? I wasn't even watching it, but I'd left it plugged in and I'd left the aerial plugged in. And there was 3 of us on my street lost our tellies, yeah. Yeah, Americans seem to have little 2-prong plug things. We have 3 prongs on ours, yeah. Oh, I don't like thunder and lightning. I'll be under the table. I'll be talking to you, but you won't be seeing me. I'll be under the table somewhere. Or I'll be saying, right, folks, it's been nice seeing you. I'm going now. Oh, that's a bit luminous, isn't it? Never mind. I just hope some old dear likes bright colours. I'm just working with what I've got, people. Yeah. Oh, yes, seen and not heard. Yeah. If you were trying to talk to your mum, it was so irritating, wasn't it? She'd come talking, I'm talking, shh, I'm talking. And by the time she said, "What do you want?" you'd forgotten. You'd forgotten what you were going to ask her, hadn't you? Because, she'd, my mum would tell us, "I'm speaking. It's rude to interrupt. I'm speaking. When I'm speaking to adults, it's rude to interrupt." So I'd be standing there and standing there and standing there wanting to ask her something. And she'd say, "Yes, now what did you want?" "I don't know. Forgot." You're just tough bunnies if you needed the loo, wouldn't it? You'd have wet your pants by the time your mother turned round to see what you wanted, yeah? The worst was in the street, wasn't it? Oh, gosh, when they met a neighbour in the street and you were there and you had to hold their hand because you were next to the traffic and, oh, it was so boring. And they seemed to take forever talking and talking and talking. And you'd think, "Oh, please can we go now, Mum? Please can we go?" And I got to the fact I used to tell her I wanted to wee, just to get her to stop talking. I didn't, but I used to tell her that. I used to say, "I need a wee, you need a wee now." And she said, "Oh, I have to go now. Mrs. So-and-so got to go. She needs to go." So when I got home, I'd be forcing her wee out because you'd already told her that you needed one. I think she got wise to me because, every time she got into a deep conversation with somebody, I wanted a wee. They only have 110. They test everything here before they sell it. Mind you, I still haven't tried my mixer that I got at the charity shop. But it was still all packed up as if it had never been used. It was still all in plastic bags and everything, like it had never been touched. So I'm quite confident that it's all right. I was a bit cross. I bought some new pink pants from the charity shop. Said I wasn't going to go in. But I actually went in for a handbag because my handbag's fallen to bits. So I didn't find a handbag, but I bought 2 pairs of pants. One was bright pink. So I put them in the washing machine and it went all over my white towel, all this pink. Anyway, I stuck it in bleach and hopefully it's most of it's come out. I'm so cross. Because the label didn't say wash separately. Usually if it's a colour that's going to what we call bleed into other colours, they usually put wash these colours separately, don't they? But it didn't say that on the label. So I thought, oh, well, somebody's sent them in. They probably had them and washed them before. But obviously they hadn't had them and washed them before. Or if they had, they hadn't put them in with anything white. It was just a white hand towel. I normally don't put the whites in with other things, but everything else I was washing was quite pastel. Anyway, I managed to get it out with bleach. It was just a couple of pale pink. It was that colour, my trousers, that bright pink there. Hmm. Oh gosh, it's warm. And I don't want to open the back door because if it thunders and that, I'll have to run and shut it. Also, I need a door stopper because it goes right back and I'm frightened of, spraining the hinges. Because if it's windy, the door goes back too far. Yeah. I need a door stop. No, it shouldn't have been sold, should it, Linda? Not if it was going to. I mean, most things are colour fast these days, aren't they? Except some hand-dyed yarn when they don't, do it in vinegar and God knows what. And when you wash your socks and that, they go paler and paler and paler. They're obviously not that good of a hand dyer, home dyer, whatever. You buy them and they're vivid colours, and then the socks gradually go paler and paler and paler. Yeah, I don't normally put dark things and light things together. And the rest of the washing was quite light coloured, with just this one pair of bright pink trousers. I know I need to iron, but yesterday I'd had enough. I didn't want to switch an iron on. I'll see what it's like tomorrow. If tomorrow never comes. It's a bright coloured granny square, that, isn't it? So I put the dark around the edge just to be. I'm not putting the same colour around the edge of every one because that's limiting me to using a ball with more than 100 grams, yeah. So I'll just choose one colour to crochet them all together, just do it that way. I'll just keep crocheting squares until I've got enough. I don't know how many I'll need. Quite a lot, I would imagine, for a lap blanket. Somebody said, oh, just do a great big granny square and keep going round and round and round. But by the time I got it big enough, I'd be losing the will to live going round and round. And also, some of my balls of wool are only small because they're oddments that people have had left over. By the time you get to the end, you're going to need more than 100 grams to go around the edge, aren't you? So I'll do it this way, in little squares. No, most of my towels are white anyway, or I've got purple towels, which obviously I wash with purple bedding because my bedding's purple, or I've got cream bedding and then I put my white towels in with the cream bedding. I'm organised in a way, yeah. I tend to keep light things together, dark things together. But as I don't wear jeans, I mean, jeans are the worst, aren't they? They dye everything a gungy colour. I used to hate it when my son wore jeans. And he'd say, well, you put my washer on. And he goes, put the T-shirt in. I go, I'm not putting the T-shirt in with your jeans. He said, why not? And I said, because it's a white T-shirt, Ian. I'm not putting it in with your jeans. Hiya, Val. How are you? Did you see that link that Lydia sent me about World War II figures? Lydia, that usually comes on here, she sent me this link. And somebody, I presume it was a knitting or crocheting group, I'm sure it wasn't one person, did this thing about World War II, and there was hundreds of these little figures and everything. Oh, they were so lovely. I did put a link on our Facebook channel, if you haven't seen it, yeah. Such a lot of work that's been done, yeah. Oh, I never put the white ones out when I had our Ian, because I'd say, you've not washed your hands. He said, I have. I said, well, look at the towel. I said, there's more muck on the towel than what's gone down the grid. Men don't wash their hands properly, do they? They might put soap on and they might do that under the tap, but when they wipe their hands, the towel's dirty. So they can't have washed it properly. Yeah, I've got purple towels and I've got white towels as well. But I got all my white towels out when I moved here on my own. I thought, hey, I can put the white towels out. It was, well, there were a lot of work with all those little figures. Honestly, somebody's had a lot of patience, haven't they? I don't have patience. A lady at Knit Club on a Monday, she's doing the knitting the nativity. Oh, I thought I'd finished. I've got another row to do, have I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 rows, you silly. I put the dark one round the end thinking that was the last row. But it's not. It's not the last round. So I have to put another colour round now. Never mind there. I'll put red. You do what, Nathan? Put your white t-shirts in with your jeans? I hope not. Because they all come out a gungy colour, don't they? And the same with underwear. I like underwear to be looking clean. I hate it when people put the briefs in with jeans and they look like they're grey and horrible. I mean, I know they're clean, but they don't look it, do they? I'm a bit funny with my washing. Hi, Sean. How are you? Oh, yes, beautiful people. You mean me, of course. Blowing my own trumpet again. We're all beautiful in somebody's eyes. I'm not quite sure whose eyes I am, but yeah. Oh, you do. You wash your hands properly, yeah. A lot of guys don't, especially if they've been under the car and they're full of oil and grease and that. And they come in and you say your dinner's ready and they go and wipe their hands all over the tea towel. Excuse me, there's a towel there, not the tea towel. It annoys me when people wipe their hands on the tea towel. That's for the dishes. It's not meant for your mucky hands. Get off my tea towel. Or people wipe the unit with the tea towel. No, get the dishcloth, wipe that, and then you can dry it with the tea towel. But you don't wipe coffee spills up with your tea towel. I'm funny like that. Yeah, I know I'm funny, but when people used to say to me, "You're funny, Janet," I used to say funny peculiar or funny ha-ha. Because I was never quite sure what they meant. I'll take either. I would hate to be called normal. That would be a big insult to me. How boring to be normal. Conventional. No. Oh, dear. Still feels like rain and thunder. It's really, that kind of warm where you... Oh, I think they look for dirt, don't you, Dottie? They get muckier than anybody else. Oh, I love my dishcloth. I like one you can stick in bleach and then put in the washing machine. I don't like them spongy things and... Well, they do hold germs if you don't wash them properly, yeah? I have a dishcloth every day. A tea towel every day. And then I put them all, and if they get a bit grubby looking, I put them in bleachy water. That's why I like to crochet my own dishcloths, because you can stuff them in bleachy water, can't you? My ex-husband hated the smell of bleach. He'd come in and go, "Oh, what have you been bleaching?" Well, that's how clean is your house? You know, that woman that's just died, she used to stick her dishcloths in bleach in the sink every night, didn't she? Oh, it's warm. I don't want to put the fan on. I have got a fan actually. I bought one when I moved to Fleetwood. I've never ever needed it in that house because it was always flipping cold. I managed to open my front room window again with the aid of a crowbar hammer thing. I'm going to have to get somebody to look at it. It's sticking. I can't be doing with a window you can't open. The bathroom window annoys me because you'd have to be 6 foot tall to open it. And I'm not standing on anything to open it because I'll fall, knowing me. I've always had ceiling fans. Wherever I've lived, I've had a big ceiling fan. This light in here is attached to a smoke detector. Every time I cook bacon, it sets off. And I'm there like banging it with a brush thing and wafting it with a tea towel. And it really gets on my nerves. And I don't burn the bacon. I don't know why it sets off. On the other day, the one outside the bathroom set off. And that was with the steam from my shower. And I'm like, they trigger happy, these things. One day, I need to get an electrician in one day because I need some more sockets. You know, I haven't got enough sockets in the house. But it's all expenses, isn't it? Says me buying a greenhouse that she doesn't really need, instead of saving up for the electric, which she does really need, yeah. I'll sell my soul. Hey ho. So has anybody found anything good on the telly to watch? I haven't yet. I keep watching YouTube. Can't watch anything I fancy. I'm going to hate this when I have to sew all the ends in, aren't I? There we go. Another one done. Another one bites the dust. How many have I got so far? 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5 so far. I'm not even plotting how many I need yet. That'll put me right off. Eric's watching James Bond. Well, it's better than some of the rubbish that they put him on today, to be frank. The older stuff's much better, isn't it? You've watched Blankety Blank. Who was the host on your Blankety Blank today? And I've watched Stitch by Mrs. D. I've watched Crafty Clegs. What else have I watched? Oh, I watched another lady. It's nothing to do with knitting or crocheting, called This Little Boho House or something. She lives with a little chihuahua called Charlie. I think she lives in Maine somewhere. Or Bradley Walsh. No, I never watched anything. So I watched her. I usually watch Crochet Objet. Who else have I watched? Can't think. Can't think. I've only just watched them. Forgotten them already. Got a brain like a sieve, I tell you. Oh, I like watching Rewilding Jude when he's doing up that cottage in Scotland. He's making a hen house at the moment. To say he's never made anything like that before. He's doing much better than I ever did. I'd love to be able to do something like, to be able to make, raised beds and things like that. Yeah, I've watched Sheila's. Yeah, I did watch Sheila's, and I saw your dolls, Val. When Sheila does a, what do you call them? Slideshow. She put Val's dolls. Yeah, I love watching Jude, yeah. He does everything wrong, doesn't he? But he manages to get there in the end. Oh, dear. I think he's brave to tackle things like that. Well, before he used to dye yarn. He's never been like a carpenter, has he? Yet there he is growing his own veg and making, raised beds and everything. I wish I was handy, but I couldn't bend down enough to do them. I'd love to be able to be handy, with a hammer and nails and be able to do little jobs around the house, yeah. I'm just hopeless. Can't even knock a nail in straight. My nails go, I want to go like that and bend over. I'm not practical in that kind of a way. Still haven't painted my doll's house. That would be winter time, I think, before I do that. I keep saying, anybody living nearby want to help me paint a doll's house, but nobody volunteers. Funny, isn't it? I'm volunteering Val to help me with my knitting machine when it gets a bit colder weather. I've not asked her, I'm just volunteering her. Oh, I haven't watched today then, if she's got her son with her today. No, I haven't watched today's. do, 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 do. Yeah, I watched Crafty Clegg. She made this, well, it's supposed to be like a zebra, but she'd done it all in one colour. But it looks so complicated. She had to put all these stitch markers in when it's little legs and arms and everything. Can you call them arms when it's a zebra? I'm still waiting to make me emotional chicken yet. No, I've not watched today's yet, Val, either. I can't win an argument, me. I've not even won a lucky dip. Normally, I used to win a lucky dip at least once a month on the, on the lottery. So I haven't even done that recently. Yeah, if you don't stop me buying things, I'll be on food parcels soon. I'll be saying, donations, please. I can't resist when I see something that I want. I want it for the garden and that. I just can't resist it. I can't wait while next month. I've only just got my pension. My pension went in and I'm like, yeah, pension's gone in. So now I've spent some of it, which I shouldn't, because I should save it for me food and my bills. And I'm stupid. I mean, I'm not in debt, don't get me wrong, but I'll never be rich. I will never be rich. Yeah, I'll be needing a red car. A red cross parcel soon. Oh dear, never mind. It's amazing what you can do with a baked potato, isn't it? And a pound of mincemeat, you know. Oh, I'll be back to that soon. I mean, there's lots of things you can do on toast, but I try not to eat too much bread because, you know, with being diabetic and that, bread, pasta, rice, stuff like that, that fills you up. I have to eat it in moderation. I've got a freezer with all sorts in it. I mean, a lot of it's vegetables and that, but I can always make soup. I know it's not the right weather for soup, but still. And I've got the corner shop. Well, I call it the corner shop. It's not. It's on the straight on the road. But to me, it's a corner shop. That sells bits and bobs. You know, I can get bread from there. And, you know, you can't get anything for a proper meal or anything there, but you can get bits and bats, yeah. It'd be like that. There's a lady at goes to the knit club at the library, and she wins on the bingo all the time. She said, you should come. I said, no, I'd be the one that's paying for you to win. I said, I'd be the one that doesn't win anything. I'd be paying for everybody else to win. I'm just lucky that way. I've never played bingo, really. But I might as well just throw my money away. I'd rather spend my money getting something for the garden, because I know I would never win. What have I? Oh, I had a ready meal today. I don't normally have a ready meal. But I hadn't been shopping, so I went to the corner shop to get some bread. And I saw one of those ready meals, you know, chicken stew with dumplings. So that's what I've had. I don't normally buy ready meals because they're loaded up with rubbish, aren't they? But it just caught my eye as I was passing by, and I thought, yeah, I'll have that. I've got chicken and all sorts in the freezer that I should take a piece out and defrost it ready for tomorrow. You know, I've got chicken drumsticks and chicken thighs and all sorts in the freezer. But I keep forgetting to get them out and defrost them. I'm full of bright ideas, you know, buy a big pack of chicken drumsticks and that. And it were edible, Val. I don't think it did me any good, but it were edible, yeah. They are as an emergency, but I don't think they're very much good on a regular basis, Dottie. I think they're loaded up with preservatives, additives, and God knows what else it is, aren't they? You're much better if you cook things from scratch, but yeah, they've got all sorts of stuff in them, haven't they, which is not good for you. Well, it's unusual for Marxists meals to be awful. I try to avoid them if I can. I mean, you can't always, because sometimes you're in a rush, aren't you? And you can't be bothered, and you think, oh, I'll just have a ready meal. But every time I eat them, I think, why did I do that? If I remember, before I go to bed, I'll get a piece of chicken out of the freezer, then I can defrost it for tomorrow. Yeah, I buy the big packs of, because they always cater for families, don't you? You want chicken drumsticks, you get 8, don't you? You know, in a pack. You never get like 3 or 4 in a pack because they always presume you're a huge family. So everything comes in 2s, 4s, 6s, 8s, yeah. Yeah, I used to get a chicken at the beginning on a weekend. And then I used to have like 2 meals out of it, and then I'd use the rest of it to make some soup. It's not soup weather really, is it, at the minute? What colour shall I have next? Oh, she says. Maybe I'll have some blue and not put blue in. They don't have any. What I don't like about ready meals is they don't have any flavour. They don't. I don't mean I don't like herbs and spices, as you know, but they don't seem to put any salt or anything or pepper in anything. No, they're right. Even a bag of apples, you get a massive big bag of apples. I used to like going to places where you put them in a bag. You know, you can just buy 2 apples, 2 bananas, whatever. But when you go to these cheap, what I call the cheaper shops like Aldi and Lidl, they seem to think you've got a family of 12, don't they? And by the time you bought the fruit and that, it's gone off. I tell you what, I am sick of buying soft fruit from Aldi because it goes furry in a couple of days, long before it gets to its sell-by date. I threw some strawberries away and some blackberries away, and they were still dated up to the 22nd, and yet they were just full of fur. I just had to put them in the bin. And it's the same with cheese. Cheese comes in a block like that, doesn't it? And if you don't eat it all at once, it's growing fur. Ooh. That's why I used to love going to Tesco's, because all of their fruit, well, not all of their fruit and veg, obviously, but they used to sell like you could get 1 pepper, 2 onions, 2 apples, you can get single things. All right, they might have been more expensive, but they are not more expensive if you eat them, to me. They're more expensive to me to buy a big bag of apples and then chuck half of them away. I've just thrown 2 pears and 2 apples away today because they've gone soft. Yeah, I always forget to freeze cheese and freeze things like that. I'm a beggar for freezing things, and then I've got a chest freezer. They drift to the bottom of the chest freezer and never to be seen again. Yeah, the cheaper the shop is, if you know what I mean, the bigger the packets are. Cereal, comes in a packet like that. Oh, hey, we're never happy, are we? That's what I mean about this little corner shop. It's only sells bits. Sometimes that's enough for what I want, just a bit. They don't have massive packets of all sorts, yeah. I'm probably paying twice the price, but I'd rather do that and actually eat it rather than buy a big packet and throw half of it away. Well, that's about when we had the dogs, because the dogs would eat what was left over, apples and stuff. Yeah, I bought some grapes the other day. I bought some grapes from Marks and Spencer's, and they lasted about 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, I bought some grapes from Aldi, and they lasted about a week, and they went furry. I'm like, what is it with their stuff? As you can tell, I'm not a lover of Aldi. That's my local shop. I wish I could get, more to. I know I can do online. I could get to Tesco's or Asda's or somewhere decent. Hello, who's sending me massages? Doodle-doo-doo-doo. I'm going to hate all these ends when I've got to sew them in. I'm going to go, Janet, what did you think it was a good idea to do granny stairs? Why did you think that? Because you're dumb. I know you can crochet over the ends, but I never do. I've got more colours. It's just I'm using what's in this bag, which I got given the other day. Oh, Jess. She'll get married soon, Jess. She's going to Las Vegas. It's a friend of mine. She's always doing, like, sort of raffle things. The Chippendales are sending me massages. Oh, yeah, I'd like one of them. That came up on my memories today. Do you remember that, where they all came and surprised me? There was Kelly, Claire, you know, Bob Wilson 123, Crochet with Claire, me and Zoe, 24 Carat Crochet. I had no idea that they were coming. Luckily, the house was tidy. Makes me jump as well, and it's my phone. Fleetwood here. Not anonymous. Which plank is setting off fireworks when it's not even dark? FFS. Because they do, because they're dumb. What's the point of setting off fireworks when it's daylight? Can't see the blooming things, can you? Oh, I've only watched one, A Stitch by Mrs. D. She's now sewing a teddy bear. I've missed that one. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. I wondered what I'd just spent at NatWest. I've realised I've just ordered something. Could you live in this tiny house? Probably not. I don't know why they think I can live in a tiny house. My goodness, I could live in a tiny house. I just need another tiny house for only one. I mean, I could manage quite happily with a tiny house on my own, but I need a craft room. Yeah, I was talking to Sue, asking her when she's going to come down. She said, oh, I'll have to try and make an effort. I went, yes, you will. Oh, I'm so looking forward to trying that camera. I'm going to be doing the same video, but when you've done it 3 times, the 4th time, it's hard to be spontaneous, isn't it? I'll be saying, this is the shawl again. This is the other shawl again. It started off being all enthusiastic. By the time I got to the 3rd video, I was fed up with it. Now I'm on the 4th video and I'm doing the same thing over again. I'll be going, oh dear. No, I don't think 111's a whole lot of use, are they? Mind you, I only rang them once and they told me to ring an ambulance. Well, they were right. I did need an ambulance. I don't know why I was ringing 111. There's something about me that thinks to ring 999, you have to have a leg hanging off or something, you know. I did too much though doing the cleaning and that yesterday. My arms and legs today hurting all up my bones. I've been rubbing them with gel and I've actually had to take a really strong painkiller today. So if I start nodding off, you'll know why. I had a couple of really strong ones left over. Yeah, Preston. How the hell are we supposed to get to Preston if you've got no transport? I mean, I know you've got a car, Val, but you still don't want to go out at 11:30 at night, do you? Yeah, I rang them once and they told me to send an ambulance but I didn't need one. I didn't go to a hospital. It was when I first got COVID, before they knew it was COVID, yeah. I was really ill with that. They said to me, we're sending an ambulance. They said, go and open your door. And it's a good job I did because I must have passed out. When I came to, there were two paramedics in my room. I remember thinking, who are they? What are they doing in here? I mean, luckily I recognised them as ambulance men. You know, not strange men off the street that had have walked in. But it's a good job I opened the door because I wouldn't have had the strength to go and let them in. Yeah, the walk-ins wouldn't be so busy if you could actually get to see a doctor. Remember the good old days where you used to just walk in the doctors? No receptionist, no anything. And you just sat there in a chair and everybody knew who was next, didn't they? Because I can always remember I took my son in and he was having a really bad asthma attack. And when it was time for the next, everybody in the room just said, send the baby in next. Yeah. I mean, I didn't know at the time it was asthma. He just couldn't get his breath. And I was a new mum. Didn't know what was wrong with my baby. But it was so nice. They just said, there were no appointments. You just went in, send the baby in first. Yeah, but we shouldn't need walk-in centres, should we? We should be able to get an appointment to see a doctor if we needed one, yeah? No, our doctors back in the day, I mean, we didn't have a receptionist, no. You just knew who was next, who you were after. You just clocked everybody in the room and everybody knew who was next. Woe betide if anybody tried to jump the queue. I used to always say, who am I after, Somebody would say me, and I'd say, right, okay, fine. But you used to pop your head around the door, and if it was packed, you'd come back a bit later, wouldn't you? When it had calmed down a bit. Sometimes they'd be waiting outside, it was that packed. There was two rooms, one was for one doctor and one was for the other. So you'd always have a look in the other room to see if that one was any busier than the first room, because you didn't mind which doctor you saw, if you know what I mean. Well, not a witch doctor, but mind you, sometimes I think they'd do a bit better, wouldn't they? No, doctors, receptionists are the bane of your life, aren't they? What's wrong with you? You don't want to tell the whole blinking waiting room what's wrong with you, do you? You said, I'd rather speak to the doctor. Yeah, but what is it about? And you say, well, I'd rather speak to the doctor, thank you. Especially if it's anything to do with ladies' problems. You don't want to blast it all around the waiting room, do you? Yeah, we've got to make an appointment on the computer before we even get up there. And then if they think you need to see the doctor, they send you a message on your phone with an appointment. And I mean, like, I'm miles away from the doctors now. And then they'll say, can you come in like 10 minutes? And I'm like, no, can't come in 10 minutes. I live miles away. I must admit, though, the doctors I'm at, I don't go very often. unless it's a routine one, and then that's just to see the nurse, you know, about my diabetes. But, you know, if ever I've had anything really wrong, which isn't very often, I usually do get an appointment. So I cannot grumble too much about my doctor. Hi, Gina. I was missing for weeks. That was when I had internet issues and all sorts of issues, camera issues and all sorts. Oh, don't let me go back to that. Hopefully I've got everything sorted now. Just keep your fingers crossed for me. I don't want any more problems with internets, televisions, cameras. You seem to have a spell of everything. If one thing goes wrong in your house, oh my God, I'm going to have to open the door. I don't sweat, but I am now. Oof. Either that or I'm going to find my fan. It's definitely going to thunder. I've got that feeling. Hang on a minute. I know where my fan is. It's only just there. Oh. I'm just hoping I haven't used it for about 3 years. So I'm hoping it still works. Oh. Let's hope I don't fuse the whole house now because I haven't used it. So. Oh my goodness me, it needs a wipe. I used to have it in the shed. Somebody's wrapped the wire around and around and it wasn't me. Oh. Woo. Right, let's see if it works. Woo. Unplug the kettle because we're very short of plugs in this house. Right, sit down. Let's have a look what it says. If I can remember how it works. Yeah. It's oscillating. Do I want it to oscillate or do I want it to blow on me? Oh. No, I don't think I want it to oscillate. I think I want it on me. It's probably full of dust and it's probably going to start me off coughing now, but never mind. Oh, that's better. Oh, don't send me a thunder lightning storm. Thanks, Sophie. No. I'll be under this table if you do. Oh, that's better. It's working. It's a, I don't know whether you can see it or not. It's a tall fan. There it goes. I'm glad it's working because I've not had it switched on. I never needed it at the other house. It was that flipping cold. I never needed it switched on. Oh, that's better. The trouble is, I'm sweating on my forehead. I don't sweat, and that's my problem. Is I just burn up, so I go all funnier. when I get too hot is I just pass out. I can't do saunas or anything like that. I just pass out. Luckily, hot weather doesn't bother me really, not usually. It's this kind of weather that bothers me, like muggy and heavy and what have you got? And I haven't made my bed either. I've got to do that when I finish talking to you. Oh, man, it's only the bottom sheet I need to put on. I can't be bothered with the duvet. It's too warm, isn't it, for a duvet? Oh. Yeah, I've got a breeze now, but it's only artificial. It's from the fan. I'm surprised it's not blowing dust out because it's very, very dusty. I'm cooling down now. Not burning up. I wonder if they have any salad at that little shop. And I could have chicken salad tomorrow. I don't like hot meals when it's warm. Oh, I'm cooling down now. That's better. I wonder if I'll feel like making a. Your eyes are drooping. You're going to sleep, are you? I usually get messages of people like Sunday saying, I'm sorry, but I fell asleep. One lady actually said to me, your voice is so soothing. I wish you'd record bedtime stories because you always send me to sleep. And I thought, is that a compliment or not? I didn't know which way to take that. You know, if somebody said your voice sends them to sleep, do you think it's a compliment? Right, I'm having a Coke. Oh, that's a bit fizzy. Oh, oh, that's better. Coffee's okay, but it makes me feel thirsty. Does anybody else do that? That's one thing I've never had, a dehumidifier. I've never sort of go want a straw. I think I've got some straws somewhere, but I don't know where they are. I can remember somebody bought me one of those fancy ones, you know, the ones that go swirly, swirly. But I never felt that it was proper clean, you know. I used to swish it through with water and that, but you can get metal ones, can't you now? That, but they come with their own brush, you know, where you scrub inside the tube. Yeah, my voice is. I had a little boy in America, and his mum wanted me to record bedtime stories for him because she said I had a cat. He had ADHD, so he was a bit skitsy at times. Yeah, and she said he used to like my voice, but I never got round to doing them for him. I actually bought some Winnie the Pooh books, but When I moved house, I finished up giving them to the charity shop. You didn't win the lottery. I probably haven't either, so I'm not looking. I never look until Sunday because I always like to go to bed Saturday night thinking I might have won. It gives me hope. It gets dashed Sunday morning when I look at my emails and realise I haven't won. But I just like to have that Saturday night memento where I might have won. Yeah. Hey, Dottie. We've just got rid of one Dottie. We've got another Dottie. Is it your alter ego, Dottie, or is it two different Dotties? We've got Dottie with a Y and Dottie with an IE. Now, Sophie's sewing's going okay. I want a pair of patchwork curtains, and I know I'm never going to do them. I'd love them for this, the kitchen here. Now, I've always thought it was something I didn't really need to buy, Chris. Yeah, I watched Kate at the last Homely House. I don't know whether you do or not, Sophie, but she makes some fantastic patchwork quilts. They're absolutely gorgeous. But she's got patchwork curtains behind her, and I'm very, very envious of her patchwork curtains. I probably could make them, I just haven't got the patience to do them. I don't know whether you've ever watched her or not, Sophie. If you haven't, you need to. Kate, she's called The Last Homely House. She's absolutely fantastic at doing quilting. Even though I don't do it, I watch her. Right, so let's look for another colour. I'll start off with cream in the middle. Oh, it's another one of my friend's funny balls. Yes. Excuse me. My sewing's very hit and miss. I'd never get him to match up. You've got to get everything to match, haven't you? Mine'd be, my seams would be floating off. I never got my seams straight in my stockings back in the 60s. So I know I've been no use. Oh, I've gone cool now. Thought I was gonna pass out. Yeah, Val watches, and she also has the Last Homely Garden as well. She doesn't do many videos on that though, and she's made herself a pond. And I think she's got a duck, is it, or a goose or something? Yeah. She made herself like a log cabin thing. I've only watched one of Mrs. D. I haven't watched the second one where she's doing the polar bears, is it, or the bears or something? I haven't watched that. So I need to watch that, yeah. Hi, Lulu. Ooh. The goose's name is Eileen. Yeah, come on, Eileen. I think she's a lovely lady, isn't she? I don't quilt, and I probably will never quilt, but I do like watching it. It's funny, isn't it? How you watch people who do things that you don't ever want to do. Yeah. It's not the first dress I had on today. I put myself a sundress on, and it was so low, everything was hanging out. I thought, I cannot do a live wearing that. So I had to change. But this, I had to put two little pleat things, on the neck there. It just kept gaping. It wasn't right. I'm always adjusting things if I don't like them. If I don't like the way our neck fits or something, I have to change it. Yeah, I'm going to have to put a little fake modesty vest. Do I watch the knitting man? No, I don't often watch many knitting videos, purely because I don't knit very often. So I get a little bit bored with knitting. The only man I used to watch he used to be in Scotland. I think he was called John. But he doesn't make videos anymore, I don't think. The bearded, something or other. I've got to say Kelpie or something, but I don't, something like that. I used to watch him a lot, but I haven't seen any videos from him for absolutely ages. Now, there's something about, and a lot of the knitting videos, they knit on circular needles and they knit things top down, and I can't use circular needles, so I just don't watch them. Hi, Isu. Do I watch Derek? No, not anymore. I mean, I've got my fan going here, but he has that D, whatever it is, going all the time. So you can't hear what he's saying for the noise. It sounds like a road drill in the background. And then he keeps snorting. Oh, and it goes through me. Every time every few minutes, and I'm like, oh no, I can't watch him. Little things like that put me off. I know I'm fickle. And I've gone off watching a lot of people because they do a lot of cross stitching. Yeah. When you're not interested, I go off people when they start doing it 5D, whatever, stop watching them. Then I stop watching them when they turn it into a cross stitching channel. I don't mind people doing an odd thing in cross stitch, but when they're doing it all the time, and everything's cross stitched and there's no knitting or crochet anymore, I just switch off. Just the way I am, I suppose. Some people like all that sort of stuff. I always think whatever you like, you watch, don't you? We've all got different tastes. It wouldn't do for us all to be the same. Oh, can you stand that snorting, Dotty? Oh, it goes through me. I think, blow your nose. La 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 la. I watch a variety of people. Like I say, I watch that little boho cottage. She's lovely. She doesn't craft or anything, but I just like watching her. She just lives with this little chihuahua in the middle of nowhere. Nigel and his dog Molly, I don't watch them. And I watch Elise, in Denmark, is it? She does all that vintage clothing, and she goes thrifting and stuff like that. I watch her. And I also watch a couple who live in France that are doing up this old farmhouse, digging up the land and everything. I don't always watch things about knitting and crocheting. I just go off on a tangent and watch other things. Oh, it's horrible, isn't it, Dottie? It makes me feel sick when he does that snorting. I wish somebody would tell him about it. He probably doesn't realise he does it. It's probably just a habit he gets into. We've all got mannerisms. I've probably got mannerisms that people hate about me. When I watch my videos back, I've got a habit of going like that and looking. I don't know what the heck I'm looking at. I always used to look like to the left or the right, and I'm like, what am I looking at? What are you doing, Janet? It's not like I'm looking at the clock or I'm looking at anything. I've got a really bad habit of doing that. I also watch a lady, I think she lives in Canada, but I think she's Japanese. And she does all this slow stitching and embroidery and things. And then there's Anne, is she called? She's Japanese. She does knitting and crocheting. She's got 3 little dogs. I mean, I watch all sorts of weird things. I don't just watch knitting and crochet. Oh, and I watch the narrowboat people. The mindful narrowboat, the narrowboat pirate. She's changed the name of HMS Grumpy. It is now called the Jolly Roger. And I used to watch Foxes Afloat when they were afloat. I mean, they've now got what do you call them, like a small holding in Scotland now. And they've got an owl and chickens and things. Yeah. And they keep bees. But a lot of people I used to watch are no longer. Oh, he's got really bad nasal issues. Tell me about it. Oh gosh, did you watch that one, Chris? When they were doing the sign writing on it. It was brilliant, wasn't it? My dad used to sign write, but nothing like that. Not as posh as that. Yeah, when she drew the pirate. HMS Grumpy, well, they've called it, it's Jolly Roger now. A, it's a pirate theme, and B, the bloke who had the boat before her was called Roger. So she wanted something piratey. So that's why she decided on Jolly Roger. No, no, I don't. I watch Leslie, of course. You know, I mean, poor Leslie's really going through it at the minute. That's what's remind me sometimes. Her sister comes on, and her sister's so funny. Leslie's sister. She's really funny. Well, I used to watch Alex, but I don't watch her as much now because she's into cross stitching all the time. I mean, if they're into cross stitching, fine. You know, if you're interested in it, then fine. It's just not what floats my boat, you know. Oh, I've cooled down lovely now. I think I might turn my fan off because it's getting on my nerves, the noise. How do I turn it off? Hey, I remembered. Peace and quiet once more. Uh, now we're back to just the hum of the freezer. The lady who's giving me these bits and pieces, she's not 100% blind, but she's about 90% blind. She used to have a guide dog, but unfortunately it had to be retired, so she's waiting to see if she gets another one. So at the moment she doesn't have a guide dog. Well, I love purple and yellow together. I should make myself a sweater in purple and yellow because I love the colours together. You know, granny squares take so little amount of yarn, wool, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to be doing these squares forever and never get through this bag of wool. Seagulls are still making a row out there. You think they'd go to bed, wouldn't you? Get in their nest and go to sleep or whatever it is they do at night. Not keep chirruping, chirruping, chirruping. Now I want to sing Come On Eileen now. That's because of the goose called Eileen. Making me think, come on Eileen. Purple and black. I like purple. Purple. My friend, she only wears black. She used to be a goth when she was younger. So even though she's older now, she still wears black. I like black, but not all the time. Black's a useful colour to have in your wardrobe, but every time, when I used to knit for people and crochet for people, all the big ladies wanted black. And you're like, oh, please, no. I think they think it makes them look smaller when they wear black. I've got news for you, lovey, it doesn't. You still look as big wearing black as you did when you were wearing white. And what is it with everybody wanting pockets? What do you put in pockets? I must admit I like pockets in a coat, but that's only because I can put my keys in it. I don't want a pocket in a cardigan because it spoils the line of it. Makes all the front droop. You're stuffing tissues and God knows what else in the pockets of your cardigan. I need to make myself another. But raining again. Can you hear it? Absolutely throwing it down. You know that black Granny Takes a Trip cardigan I had? Its mouth's too big for me now. I need to make myself another one. The one I get most compliments about is the hexagon cardigan. I made it in white with the boho spirit bright colours. Everybody loves that cardigan. Everywhere I go. Oh, did you make that cardigan yourself? It's the most talked about cardigan I've ever made. That and the Granny Square, Granny Takes a Trip. Well, it is absolutely bucketing down now. I won't be needing to water the garden today. Yeah, it's on the flat roof of the, well, it's not flat, it's sloping. Conservatory roof is that you can hear. Sounds like hailstones, actually. So I'm sure it's not. I knew it was going to rain. Does anybody else, like, your bones start to ache when it rains or you know it's going to rain? I can always feel it in my body. Yeah, it does sound like hailstones, doesn't it? It's because it's a solid roof. It's not glass or anything, but it bangs on the roof. I don't know what the roof's made out of. It's not got roofing tiles on it. It bangs on there. Because often I can hear it's raining even before I see it. Yeah. I wonder how many squares I'm going to need. Maybe I shouldn't count because maybe that will put me off. If I think I've got to make 70 squares or something. The big blanket I made before, there was 140, 160 squares or something. It's on the back of the sofa. You can't even see it now, that pink thing I made. And I've still got the one that everybody made me for my 70th birthday. People made a square and sent it off. And Sian finished up sewing it together, I think. Or was it Kelly? Either Sian or Kelly finished up sewing all the squares together. But the problem was, whoever sewed the squares together didn't keep the paperwork. So I have no idea which squares belong to which person who sent them in. Still got the blanket though. Just think, I've had it nearly 10 years because I'll be 80 in November. So you're going to make me, you're going to make me another blanket. Yeah, my bones hurt like anything when it's going to rain. I've had pains down my arms and my legs all day today. I think it's because I did too much yesterday. I'm stupid. When I feel quite well in myself, I do chores. I do too much. Yeah. Yeah, I've still got the blanket, Jean. Yeah. It's on the back of the sofa in the front room. And I've still got the flowers somewhere. I wanted flowers because I was going to put them on the decking. Then, of course, they never got put on, and then I moved. So I keep finding these flowers. They're still there, and I keep thinking, I'm going to do something with those flowers because people were really kind enough to send me these flowers in. So I need to think of a... Yeah, I don't know what day is the 25th of November. I don't know. It might be a Saturday, mightn't it? If it's a Saturday, we can have a big party then. Because they won't be having a party, that's for sure. My niece might take me out for a meal or something. But I won't be having a party. The last party I had was for my 40th and I did it myself. It shows how popular I am when you have to throw your own party. But after that, I've never had anything for my milestones, my 50s or my 60s. November 15th is on a Saturday. So the 25th. So the week after, what's 7 onto 15? Hmm. 22nd will be a Saturday, won't it? So have I got that wrong? That'll be the nearest one to my birthday, won't it? 22nd is a Saturday. So I'll have to celebrate it on a Saturday. Unless I do a specialised live on the 25th. Yeah, the 25th. Yeah. That's when I will be 80. I'll be an old boot. I shall wear my wrinkles with pride. I was looking at myself in the mirror today. You go like that and you think, look at that, it takes years off. But then I wouldn't have it done because I'm too scared. If I had all the money in the world, I wouldn't have plastic surgery because I'm too wimpy. I shall stay with my wrinkles. Have I sent you to sleep as well, Lulu? I've sent the other Dottie to sleep. She's gone, I think. She fell asleep. It's nice to know, isn't it? I've got that kind of voice that sends people to sleep. Oh, dear. I should do them, what they call them, ASMR or some videos. Where you have them, where you listen to rain, don't you? And you listen to the wind or you listen to somebody. I should do one of them. Fall asleep with Janet. Janet today is going to read to you. But then you get in trouble then because you get in trouble for copyright. You'd have to make your own stories up, wouldn't you? Because if you start reading from anything, then you get in trouble because you've got copyrights, unless you pick a really, really old book that's out of copyright. I mean, Fibre Spider used to read books, didn't he? I used to think, how does he not get in trouble? Because they're very hot, aren't they, on copywriting? Oh, yeah, Sheila's put a video up. Busy day today. Sheila's knitting tips. All right, here. I've got that to watch later. And another one, A Stitch by Mrs. D, to watch later. And I'm just hoping the Maltesers have not gone soggy because they've not been they've been in the fridge, but I pulled them out. It's been so warm, they should be stuck together. No, they're not too bad. You take your nighttime meds at 5 o'clock. Gosh. If I took mine at 5 o'clock, I'd be asleep at 5:30. I'm surprised I didn't fall asleep this afternoon because I had to take a really strong painkiller because my arms and legs were hurting so much. Usually that knocks me out completely, but it didn't today. I put my book down and I was all prepared for a nap. And for some reason or other, I started watching something and stayed awake. It's generally the way, isn't it? If you think you want to sleep, it doesn't happen. It's like you're falling asleep in the chair. You think, oh gosh, I need to go to bed. I need an early night. I'm falling asleep. You get in bed and it's like, hello, wide awake. It's like my brain thinks, she thinks she's going to go to sleep. I've got other ideas. Let's just think about things that happened 4 years ago. Let's just think about them, shall we? You've got nothing else to do. I'll just bring it into your mind and we'll start to discuss it amongst ourselves. You wouldn't mind if it was recent stuff, but your brain dredges something up, doesn't it, from the back of beyond? Keeps you awake. You watched the moon, did you? Woo! I woke up a couple of times last night, but I think it was because I was too hot. And of course, you know, at my time of life, when you wake up, what do you need to do? Go to the bathroom, yeah. You have songs in your head, do you? Mine's like scenarios. You know, I dredge up stuff from way back when, like a scenario that happens. And oh, I've listened to so many half YouTube things, and then I forget what I was listening to, so I can't listen to the other half. My favourite's like mysteries, you know, like Agatha Christie and stuff. And then I fall asleep. And then I wake up about 2 o'clock in the morning thinking, what the heck am I listening to? It's gone on to something completely different. And then I can't remember what it was called, the first one I was watching, you know, listening to. So I can't hear the end of it. I have listened to so many half stories. Because my favourites are like mysteries. I don't mean gory mysteries. I mean mysteries like, you know, Agatha Christie type mysteries, yeah. Oh, yeah, childhood stuff dredges up, doesn't it? My recurring dream is always that I've lost my purse or somebody's stolen my purse. I look in my handbag and my purse is gone. And I don't know what that means. It's recurrent. It happens all the time. There must be a reason for it, whether it's some subconscious fear that I'm going to lose all my money or something. I don't know. Duck pound shuffle. I listen to music sometimes. It's usually Backstreet Boys or Il Divo or something like that. I'm not a lover. I don't mind some classical music, but I cannot stand violins. Screeching violin. That puts me off classical music. I don't mind piano or something like that. Something soothing. Or a harp or something like that. But when it's screechy violins, I'm thinking, oh, God, no. No, I don't know, sort of wishy-washy music, like Backstreet Boys, Take That. What's that other Irish band called? The boy bands. Sort of finish up. I never used to listen to them before, but I listen to them now. Westlife, that's the one. And then there was another one, wasn't there? There was Westlife and the other one. They were Irish as well, weren't they? Not Westlife. Oh, God. I can't think. Yeah, Take That, Westlife, another one. I have to think now. No, I'm just trying to think. Yeah, the Backstreet Boys is. Can't think what they're called. Boyzone, that's the one. Boyzone. You put me out of my misery. That's the kind of music I want to fall to sleep to because it's not too taxing, is it? It's not kind of songs that I used to listen to when they were around because, but they're usually quite soothing and middle of the roadish, aren't they? They're not too whatever. And if it's like country and western, I like Alan Jackson and Garth Brooks. Something that's quite soothing. If I'm doing cleaning or anything like that, I like, reggae and, the music from Queer as Folk, yeah? Nathan will know what I mean. That's all quite upbeat. That's what I call my cleaning music. When I was on the CB radio, one of the truckers used to go through. Whenever he heard me on, he used to play one particular reggae song, and it was called Hey Fatty Bum Bum, Sweet Sugar Dumpling. Hey Fatty Bum Bum, let me tell you something. Alan Jackson, yeah, he's quite a soothing kind of country and western man. It's not all, my dog's died and all that sort of stuff. The miserable, what I call the miserable, or my wife's run off and left me. Some of it's miserable, isn't it, the country and western? cleaning. You know, it's always about somebody's died or the dog's died or something's happened. And I'm thinking, oh, Lord. Yeah, he sings one called Remember When. You should listen to that. It's nice. I think he wrote it for his wife. I'm not too sure. And when I'm cleaning, I actually quite like ABBA. I know everybody goes, ooh, ABBA. But I don't mind ABBA when I'm doing my cleaning. I've just bought a new CD, actually, but I haven't played it yet. It's what could you call Teddy Swims. I've not played it yet, though. I saw a video of him, and one of it, he was singing a song, and I thought, oh, I like him. So whether or not I like the CD, I don't know. I might only like that one. Sometimes I'm like that. I'll buy a CD and I'll only like one tune on it. And I'm thinking, why did I buy the whole CD? Yeah, ABBA. I like ABBA. You know, you can guarantee if the party's flagging, if you stick like Dancing Queen on, everybody gets up and dances, don't they? Put some ABBA on. Yeah, they're very dancey, very sort of disco, weren't they, really? ABBA. It depends what mood you're in, whether you're in a sort of up and boppy kind of mood, you want to do your cleaning and you want to get on. It's no good putting on something sort of soothing, dreamy and romantic if you want to do your cleaning, is it? You know, you need something with a bit of oomph. But if you're trying to go to sleep, you don't want ABBA on singing Dancing Queen, do you? You know, no offence to ABBA, but you know what I mean? It's not exactly a falling to sleep tune. Yeah, I've not really heard. I watched a video of Barbara Streisand. Yeah, I liked her when she sang with, was it Donna Summers? Oh God, yeah. And I've got the CD where she sang with Barry Gibb. No, I never got into Nina Simone. I actually like to see her. And I've got Celine Dion. My taste just dots about all over the place. I'm not a... Yeah, enough is enough, yeah. Barbara Streisand and Donna Summer, I think it was, yeah. That was my anthem when I was going through my divorce. I want him out that door now. It's like your anthem, isn't it? Enough is enough. If you've not listened to it, you need to if you're going through a divorce. It's just what you want to do to them, isn't it? I always dreamed I'd find the perfect lover, but then I found out he's just like any other. Yeah, Sia is good. It was my son who introduced me to Sia. I heard something that he was playing, and I said, "Who's that? I like that." And he said, "It's Sia." Yeah. Yeah, I've got all sorts. I've got like Celine Dion. I've got um, Whitney Houston and stuff. Yeah, my divorce song was Enough is Enough. There's one song that everybody sings in the disco, didn't there? Something about women being powerful. Everybody gets up and dances to that. It'll come to me shortly what it's called. The winner takes it all. It wasn't true it wasn't true in my case. He did take it all, yeah. I Will Survive, that's the one. Guaranteed that to get everybody up on the dance floor and to all the women singing that. Yeah, I've got I saw Luther Vandross actually in Manchester. Went to see him. He was brilliant. Didn't miss a note. You know, some people, when you see them live, they're rubbish. He wasn't. He just hit every single note. He didn't flatten anything. He didn't change. You know, some of them, when the voice goes, they start what I call flattening everything. They don't hit the high notes. They don't hit the low notes. Not Luther Vandross. He hit everything. Well, sadly, I was the one who got fleeced, I think, with my divorce. Mm-hmm. Who's making granny squares besides me? The only thing I didn't forgive Luther from when I went to see him was, you know, his weight used to fluctuate, and he was going through one of his fat stages, and he wouldn't have screens put up. So even though he was a beautiful singer and I went to see him, he was like a flipping dot in the distance because, you know, the seats I was in, I was quite a distance away from him. So I would have liked to have actually seen him. You know, rather than be a little dot in the distance. Right. Think of another colour. I'll have lemon. None of these are alike. Well, if they are, it'll be a coincidence, yeah. I went to see him, it was in Manchester, and we were up at, well, I was up at the top on these like benches, and everyone was clapping and moving about, and these benches were going backwards and forwards. And then the people in front of me stood up. I said, "Excuse me, but do you mind? I can't see." If he'd have had screens up, I would have been able to see him. But no, apparently he refused to have screens up because he was in one of his fat days. I thought, how petty is that? Do you think we care if he's fat or not? He used to have terrible weight gain issues, apparently. Yeah, but you're not being paid millions. I had to sing when people can't see you. I'm sorry, but when people are paying like 50, £60 for a ticket, I mean, people at the front that could actually see him were probably paying about 200 quid to see him. And then he won't have screens up just because he's put a bit of weight on. I'm like, oh, don't get over yourself. Never bothered Barry White, did it? Or Demis Roussos. They just wore a bigger caftan, didn't they? Yeah, but Nathan is not being paid hundreds of pounds, is he, to stand up in front of somebody and sing? So, so does it really matter what size Nathan is? But, if he was a singer, I would like to have seen him no matter what size he was. That's just the point. I would have liked to have seen him what he looked like singing. If he was that bothered about it, they could have just put his head and shoulders on, couldn't they? We all fluctuate, Nathan. We're none of us perfect. It's hard to take it off, and it's just so easy to put it back on again. Takes about 6 months to get rid of it, doesn't it? And 2 weeks to put it on again. Go past a cake shop, £3 gone on. You don't even have to go in the shop. Just have to go past and sniff the pies. It's what we call willpower that we don't all possess. I wish I could blame something like my thyroid, Dotty, but there's no medical reason why I put weight on except to keep stuff in my face. There's nobody else to blame but myself. It's hard. If it was easy, we'd all be thin. We all do it for a while, do so well, lose loads of weight and think, well, this is it. And then you take your foot off the pedal and boom, you're back where you started, like somebody's pumped you up with a bike pump. I know I get on the scale sometimes and think, what the? £7 come from? I've been good. Also, I think. And then you start thinking back, thinking, well, yeah, I did have that chocolate and I did have them sweets and I did have that cake. And I've been better since I've lived on my own because I just don't buy it. It annoys me sometimes because I'm like, just fancy something. But like now, I fancy chocolate. I've only bought a little packet. I mean, at one time I'd have bought a whole box full and ate the lot. But now I just buy something small. And think, well, if I get an urge to eat chocolate, then I've just got a little bit there. And hopefully that won't do me too much damage. Yeah, in an ideal world. I blame today's diets, though. Everything you buy in the supermarket's stuffed with additives, hidden sugars, God knows what else. It's like they want us to be fat on purpose. Apparently all this sugar and stuff is to make you buy more because it's addictive. Something that they put like in McDonald's so that you want more and more and more. Yeah, I try my best to keep away from processed food, but it's so hard. Everything's been through the mangle, hasn't it? Everything you think is fresh and everything you think is unadulterated, and you find you're eating stuff you didn't. That's why our ancestors weren't fat, because they ate a proper diet and everything's, they grew their own things, didn't they? Nothing was sprayed with things and had preservatives added to it. And I try to make my own stuff as much as possible, Chris, but it's not always possible. Everything you buy, even in the supermarket, you're thinking, oh my God, yeah. Yeah, I won't go anywhere. I've not had a McDonald's for, God, it must be 10 years. It's all the calories in these things, and they don't. You eat a McDonald's, and after 5 minutes, you're hungry because there's no substance to it, is there? All it is like, my dad used to call them fresh air butties. And they don't fill you up, and yet you've eaten like 1,000 calories. You've eaten your quota for the day in one little burger, haven't you? I try to avoid things, but it's so difficult. Yeah, we all did, didn't we? Well, we didn't grow our own, but anything you bought in the shop was it was seasonal. You didn't eat strawberries when they weren't in season, did you? You didn't, things had a season. You didn't have a cabbage in the summer, did you? It's just, yeah, I want to concentrate next year on buying more things to eat. I'm limited. I can't grow anything that grows in the ground, because obviously carrots and things, you need a depth, don't you, of soil and stuff, which I won't have. I've only hopefully we'll have next year, have some, you know, sort of growing beds on stilts, so I can reach them. But, it's difficult. You could grow things that grow upwards, can't you? Like beans and peas and things that grow upwards in small amounts of soil, in containers and that. But hopefully that's what I hope to do. This year I've got some flowers and bulbs and things like that. But next year I want to try and grow more things that I can eat. At the moment I've just got lettuce and that I can eat, really. or the tomatoes and the strawberries. But I'll try to grow more, like you said, beans and peas and things like that next year. Yeah, when you went to the shop, like you only got sprouts at Christmas, didn't you? You only got strawberries in the summer. You didn't get things all year round, did you? You just had to eat what was seasonal. But now everything's forced up and yeah, I'm not a mad lover of carrots, although I might if they were fresh. I'd rather eat a raw grated carrot than I would if it's cooked. I don't know what there is. I'd rather eat a raw carrot. I'd rather crunch a carrot than eat it when you've cooked it. Because my family used to cook everything al dente and I didn't like that. It's either got to be raw or it's got to be cooked. I don't like it in between. I know it's supposed to be better for you if it's not cooked to mush, but I like my vegetables soft. I don't want crunchy sprouts, crunchy carrots. No, I won't go mad and try, I won't be growing cauliflowers or anything like that. A Swede, you know. Yeah. The one thing I won't is kale. I cannot stand kale. It's bitter. I know people say, oh, yeah, I love kale. Don't like it. I like cabbage. Yeah, I need to get more. When it's winter time, I make a lot of stews, and soups and that. It's more difficult, I think, in the summer. I mean, luckily I do like salads, but I don't like faffing about making them. Washing everything, chopping everything up and that. Ooh, that's a bit colourful, isn't it? Oh no, and I don't like couscous either. I don't mind the shop bought couscous, but of course it's bad for you because it's got loads of stuff in it. But they do make it nice and tasty. But I tell you what, I cannot stick polenta. That is vile polenta. I'm not a lover of a lot of things, yeah. Like I don't like brown rice. Ooh. I don't know why I don't like brown rice. No, I'm not keen on that aniseed. I don't like that fennel and stuff. Yeah, some of my grannies are colourful, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want a jacket made like that. It's a bit over the top, isn't it? But still. I mean, all my granny squares are different. They're woo, all different colours. That one's got blues in it. That one's reds and pinks. That one. I'm just doing them as I'm going along. That one's got pinks in it. Woo, pinks. I'm just going along what I've got given, really. I must start making things. I used to like my homemade, what's it like? Not coconut cake. What was it? Oh, whatever it was. I used to like that. Yeah, I keep getting given them, and because people at Knit Club like what I'm doing, the fact I'm using. Hey, Ruth. Because I'm doing them for to give away to the old people's home. Or as people say, Janet, you're probably older than the old people that are in the home you make it for. We won't go into that. Anyway, people like what I'm doing, so they keep giving me all their bits and pieces. So I'm not running out of bits because they keep giving me more. So I keep on going and I keep on going. But it's all for a good cause, isn't it? And there's nothing specifically that I need. Well, actually, there is. I need a pink sweater, kind of that kind of colour of pink to go with 2 pairs of trousers that I've got. I've got the wool, I bought it. So I really need to break off and make myself a pink sweater. But the weather's been that nice that I've not actually needed a pink sweater, so I just carry on doing the shawls. And in actual fact, I mean, I'm not bothered if I don't give the shawls to my friend till later in the year because hopefully the old dears will be warm enough at the moment. And maybe they'll appreciate them more when it gets cold, yeah. Well, I made them 4, and my friend took them to, I don't know which old folks home, but she took them, and they were very grateful for them, and they said, oh, ask your friend if she's making any more. So that's when I decided that I would carry on making. They don't know I'm doing them. My friend who took them to the home knows I'm making them, but she doesn't live near me, so she'd have to come. I can't go to her because, I've only got my scooter. So she'd have to come in a car and pick them up. So I might as well wait until I've got like a dozen or so to take. Or wait till it's more wintry, Then she can take whatever I've got in a big bag, can't she? I mean, it would be nice if they saved some of them, as Christmas presents, because a lot of people in the old folks' home, I mean, my aunt used to work on the geriatric ward, where they're all a little bit strange, maybe had Alzheimer's and stuff. And she said a lot of them, they don't have family and nobody comes to visit them. And at Christmas, they don't have presents. So they always used to have little raffles and different things to try to make sure that they gave a present, to everybody, in the wards and that where she was, because she said she just felt sorry that, nobody in their family, or they didn't have a family, thought to bring them something. She should just get, because she used to ask us if we got anything. We used to get soaps and talcum powders and bits and bobs, to make a little present boxes up, because they were mostly ladies that she used to look after. But it would be nice if I sort of saved them up to nearer to Christmas, really, and then sent a whole big batch, and then they could maybe hand them out, as a Christmas present for the old people, yeah. Especially, like you say, somebody who maybe doesn't have a family. Because it must be awful, if you're in a ward and you've got nobody, and then somebody in the next bed's got a shed load of family that come bring parcels and parcels and everything, and nobody comes to see you, and you don't even get a card, Yeah, they're very fussy, because if you make something like this, the baby hospitals don't want them because the babies get their little fingers stuck through the holes, yeah. You have to make things, you know, for babies, especially preemies, without any holes in them, nothing lacy, because of the little fingers getting stuck, little fingers and little toes. It's always wise to ask what they want. In my case, I stopped making for the babies because they wanted me to make gowns, you know, for the babies that didn't make it. And I just couldn't do it. And I didn't want to make a little gown for them to be buried in, you know. I know it's sad and all that, but I just couldn't do it. You know, when you've had miscarriages yourself, you just can't, you know, make things that's going to get buried, you know. The girl who's, well, the woman who's given me this wool, she makes little hats, you know, for the premature babies. But she knits them, and she knits them quite firmly, you know, so that they, and some she puts little holes in them so that, you know, the little tubes and that they have in. I used to make for the Bolton premature babies, but they're very fussy what they want. You know, they don't want anything holy, anything lacy. No, I don't like making the angel gowns. I just don't. They just give me the creeps. I don't know. I know they're needed, but I mean, I went to another knit club when I first came here. There was one in a pub round the corner, and she was giving her orders. She was wanting me to make these angel gowns and that, and I went, no, I can't do it. Sorry. I said I'll make for bigger babies, but I'm not making for babies that have passed away. Oh. Yeah, my baby was £9.3. Then the other babies never got past a few weeks, so I didn't get as far as a prem baby. Never got that far. I think that's why I can't do the angel gowns. I know they're needed and I know it's a good cause, but you can either do it or you can't. Yeah. I haven't thought about it at the moment. I'm just busy doing for the old people at the minute. So I haven't even thought about the premature babies. They're so fussy what they want and what they don't want with prem units. You know, some want this, some want that. They don't want anything with holes in. They don't want anything that's too loosely knitted. And I mostly crochet, which is what they don't want actually, because as you know, crochet has got enough holes to put your fingers through. I'll stick to my old folks for the moment anyway. Yeah, mine never got that far, Dottie, so I know it sounds awful, but I don't grieve for them because I never thought of them as that. They never got that far, if you with me. Right, what other colour shall I go with this lemon? I've not had any brown. Not a very nice colour, is it? But still, I might put some brown in. I'll have brown. When I do make my video, I'll show you all the shawls I've already made, because I've made 9 now. I just thought I'd have a break from making. Yeah, mine were very early on, so I don't tend to think of them that way. Because I didn't know if they were boys or girls or what they were. We never knew that back in the day. It was all, oh, you're young enough, go back, try again. Yeah. There was none of this, oh dear, do you want counselling or whatever. It was just like, go away, get on with it. You're young enough, get another one. Do, 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 do. Oh, this is thinner wool. That was a mistake. I'm going to have a thin row. Never mind, it'll sort itself out with the next row when it's thicker. Well, I might be able to now, Dottie. It's cost me a flipping fortune. It's cost me £80 for a new camera. It's cost me 50 quid for the bloke that come to fix it. So I hope everybody appreciates how much it's costing me to make another video. I think people think I'm one of these that earns a load of money for videos, and I don't. I mean, that's how much it's cost me. So, I mean, it's cost me before that because I had another camera before that, so that was £80 before that. And all I get is people saying, "Oh, use your phone, use your phone." I can't use my phone. I don't know how to use my phone. So I've got another camera. As I say, I'll be going bankrupt before long just to make videos. And I hope people appreciate it. Well, some people do. Some people get about 300 quid a month. I never did. You have to have a lot of subscribers. You've got to have a lot of thumbs up. You've got to have a lot of comments. You've got to have a lot of views. People have got to watch your adverts in between, which nobody ever does. So I never earned any money at all. Oh, this bag, yeah, it's got all sorts in it. People keep giving me, but every time I go to a knit club, people throw balls at me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, when they get a little ball, they don't know what to do with it, so they give it me. Yeah, for your shawls. I don't get given 100 grams, yeah. Yeah, it was like that catch. I haven't answered a lady sent me a message on the Urban Gypsy page, which I haven't used for years. She wanted to buy a shawl. I don't even recognise a shawl. I haven't got it. I haven't replied to her because I've not got the shawl. She said, I want to buy the shawl. I don't know where she's dredged it up from. I don't even remember ever making it. I'll have to ask, answer and say, no, I haven't got it anymore. And I'm not taking orders. Yes, people do that. People find an old video of yours and say, have you still got the pattern for this? And I'm like, I don't even remember making it. Once it's made, it's forgotten. I need to start making it. I say I'm going to do it all the time, and I never, ever do. Make one of those books where you write down what you made, what you used, how many balls you used, which pattern you used. And I think to myself, I'll do that. And I never, ever do. All the years I've been doing it, I've never, ever done it, yeah. that's what I mean. Is they're looking at me videos from, or they're looking at me pictures from years back. I don't even recognise the shawl. She sent me a little picture of it with like half of a shawl draped over something, and I'm like, I don't even know what it is. I'd like to buy this, and I'm like, really? Doesn't even look like one of mine. I haven't even answered her. I know it's very rude of me. But I haven't used that page for, if you've ever followed me, you know I used to use that Urban Gypsy page when I was selling anything. But I haven't put anything on it for about 4 years now. So I don't know where she's found that shawl from. Nobody ever wants to buy anything I'm selling. I go, I'm selling this, I'm selling this. Nothing. Sheila just puts something up and somebody wants to buy it. And I'm like, I put something up, selling this. Nobody's interested. Do you have the pattern? Which wool did you use? Not how much is it? Never that. I don't know whether it was you, Ruth, but somebody sent me a link the other day about a craft show in Fleetwood. But it was £50 for 2 days. I wouldn't even make that back, to pay for the stall. I didn't even used to make my money back when it was 10 quid or 15 quid for a stall. People say, oh, yeah, that's beautiful. Oh, that's lovely. Do you do lessons to teach people how to crochet? Or, oh, I'll tell my grandma about that. Do you know which pattern it is? My grandma can make it for me. And I'm like, I can buy mine. And it wasn't like I was asking the earth for anything. But no, it wasn't you. Somebody sent me a link for a craft fair in Fleetwood. But £50 for 2 days. You'd have to sell an awful lot of stuff to get your £50 back. That'd be out of your profit. I never even made £50 when I was selling things, let alone pay 50. Because I mean, if you sold something for 50 quid and then you've got to pay £50 for the stall, in actual fact, you've not made anything, have you? You've made a loss. You've just given somebody a £50 sweater. I've given up with them. I don't do them anymore. My friend still does them, but she makes little tiny things, little bits and bobsy things. There's a lady in America, she makes scrunchies for hair, and she sells them for about $18. I had 2 for £1 and couldn't sell them. So I just gave up. That's why I don't bother anymore. I'm just not fated to be a designer. And I can't make patterns because I only crochet in UK. And I can only make a pattern up for the size I've just done. I can't make sizes because I don't know how to do that. I couldn't design a pattern from like 22-inch chest up to about 16-inch chest. I couldn't do it. If I made a pattern, it would be the size I made it for. End of story. Can you size it up? Like, no. There's an art form, I think, to making patterns. I mean, Kelly tried it once, but she got all this flack, you know, like you don't say at the end of each row how many stitches I'm supposed to have on, and I'm like, yeah, where you're located. I'm not located anywhere where there's any sales, you know. I'm not in a kind of, if you're in the right area like Brighton or Glastonbury or something where there's hippie people or where there's uh, festivals and things like that, you know, my kind of boho tops would sell a bomb, you know, there. But kind of people around Fleetwood and Cleveland don't walk around wearing things like that. You know, it's no good me making a boho top and a pair of shorts because nobody would want them round here, you know. They'd be like, you're joking. I'll have a beige sweater, thank you, with pockets. No, I watch them on YouTube and I watch them on, you know, Facebook selling tops, you know, for $70 and stuff like that. And I can't sell mine for a tenner, you know. It depends where you are, what your clients are. Like, I don't appeal to the teenagers who are the ones who buy all this fashiony stuff. You know, people who watch me, not being rude to anybody who's watching me now, are of a certain age group. You know, there's no teenagers watch me that would buy a boho top, yeah. People say put things on Vinted, but people want things for £5 on Vinted or £10, you know. You can't do that, it's cost you that for the wool. No, I shall just stay as I am. I am going to try and sell. Oh, the Beige Brigade, yeah. Oh, Lord, yeah. They live round here. But the thing with the yarn shows is people that go there are real yarn snobs. They just want like cashmere and lamb's wool and stuff like that. And they knit fancy shawls like Stephen West things and stuff like that. But they don't go to these yarn shows to actually buy any finished garments. They go, don't they, to get inspiration to, you know, make their own. Yeah. Hi, Diana. It's freezing cold in Australia. It's raining here. Well, actually, it stopped at a minute, but it's been raining. You know, I don't think anybody really goes to the yarn shows in the UK, and they only buy things like needles, maybe, what do you call them, stitch markers, stuff like that. A couple of hanks of hand-dyed yarn. You know, I don't think they ever go to these, you know, even the yarn festivals and buy loads of things, yeah. A White House party. Was everything white, or do you mean political? Right, let me look what next. What colour shall I have next? I'm running out of ideas. I've not had blue. I'll put blue in next. My colours are all the sameness. It's trying to alternate them into different ones. Much of a muchness. Oh, it's getting near the witching hour. That went past quickly, didn't it? I must remember to pull some chicken out the freezer. Oh, and I've got to make my bed. Oh, everything white. Oh, how boring. I've heard of beige food, you know, where everything's beige, like pasta and pizza and all that stuff. I always remember when I was courting, well, I went to pick my ex-husband up and his mum had made him his tea. White fish, mash and cauliflower. I didn't quite believe it. I'm looking at it thinking, they're giving him that for his tea. Can you imagine? White steamed fish, mashed potatoes and cauliflower. No, not even any cheese sauce. So liven it up. Or any gravy. When we went outside, I said, do you have that for your tea a lot? He says, why? What was wrong with it? I said, there's no colour. I said, your plate was completely white. It was even on a white plate. I just couldn't believe it. She wasn't much of a cook. When we got married, I made him his tea and he says to me, what are these? I said, what are what? He said, these little cabbages. I said, they're sprouts. He'd never had a sprout. It didn't come out of a tin. Yeah, white fish, mash and cauliflower. That's what she gave him for his tea. As I said, she wasn't much of a... So wonder he got cauliflower, because normally it was a tin of peas. She was not much of a cook. I'm not brilliant, but I do try. Yeah, beige food to me is like pasta. You know, in pasta, it's all the same colour, isn't it? I can't eat that. I cannot eat a plate of something that's all the same colour. Like, you know, pasta in a sauce, white sauce or something. I'm like, no, I don't want a plate. I want three things on my plate. I want vegetables, potatoes, and meat. I don't want not mash, pasta. I don't want that. I can't eat anything that's a big lump of all the same colour. I don't know what there is about me. I like to see colour on my plate and variety on my plate. Mm. It's funny how they're funny little ways. Well, we never lived with them before we got married, so like when you got married, it was a complete and utter stranger with weird habits that you didn't know anything about when you were courting, did you? Because you didn't live with them, so you didn't know what the heck they got up to. Yeah, but if it just looks like beige, can you eat it? And I don't like that tomato and herby sauce they put on. I probably would like it if I made my own with fresh tomatoes, but I don't like those those jars. You know, you get jars of pasta sauce and it gives you an aftertaste. It's horrible. I just don't eat pasta. I used to eat tuna pasta that I made myself, and with cheese and stuff and crunchy bits on top. It had sweet corn in it. I used to make my own there. I don't mind that because it didn't look beige to me. Oh, a girl at the library, she's gluten free, and she says she can't get hardly anything. Everything she looks at, can't have that, can't have that. It's got stuff in it. She looks at the ingredients on a tin or a packet, can't have it because I'm allergic to this, that, and the other. You know, she can't just like pop into Greg's for a sausage roll or anything. Like she said, most gluten free bread taste is awful. And I can't eat anything with nuts and seeds in it. I could never be a vegetarian. Went down the P Diddy. All these weird people with these weird things that's all coming to light. People are strange. I never had all that sort of stuff when I was growing up. All this weirdness. Every time you open the paper, it's something scandal. You're like, I didn't even know that existed, let alone doing it. You know, and you're thinking, woo, weird. Where do they get these things from? Yeah, I don't have cow's milk, but I don't really have a severe allergy. I just think that cow's milk sort of seems to upset my IBS, you know. It's only me thinking that way. I've never been diagnosed with it. It's like self-diagnosis that I thought I was better when I didn't have cow's milk. Maybe it's something I've never found out what actually sets me off. In all the years I've had it, I've kept food diaries and given them to doctors and things, and they've never found out what it is, what the trigger is. I can eat something one day and it triggers me. Eat it 2 days later and nothing happens, you know. It's funny. I mean, I won't eat nuts, but I'm not allergic to them. I just don't like them. I don't think there's anything that I'm really allergic to. Certain things give me a reaction, but... Are you still here, Lulu? Well, it's even when you're diabetic, you can't have this, you can't have that, or if you do, you can have it in small amounts. And I still think it's all to do with the additives and God knows what the stuff in our food. I think that's what's making. I mean, I'd never heard of a peanut allergy when I was growing up. Never heard of anybody going into anaphylactic shock or whatever. I don't know why all of a sudden everybody's allergic to different things. It's all what they're stuffing in your food, I'm sure it is. Yeah, I've got IBS, yeah. Had it for years. Sometimes it drives me mad and sometimes it's not too bad. It's worse when it's when you're out somewhere. When you're out and you've eaten something and you've sat with your people in the table and you think, oh no, 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 got to go to the bathroom. Oh no, I've got the cramps. And when you say to the doctor, they go, oh no, it can't, it's got to work its way through. It takes hours for your food to go through. Really? Tell that to my behind. I can eat though what I call the monkey nuts. I can eat them because they've not been roasted and they've not been salted. You know, the ones that you give to the birds, the ones that are in the shells. We call them monkey nuts. I can eat them. But once they've been salted or roasted or honey roasted or whatever, I can't eat them anymore. And it's amazing how many things this stuff, nuts on top of things. You like going to the cake shop and you're like, is that nuts? Well, yeah, no. When you used to have ice creams, we want to sprinkle nuts all over the ice cream. I'm like, no, I don't want it. Don't put it all over my ice cream. I'll have a few sprinkles, but I know that's what they say, but why is it that when I've eaten something, I have to dive off to the toilet? That's what they say to me about my IBS. They more or less accuse you of being a liar, but I know what it is. I know that I have to get up from the table when I'm eating my dinner when I'm out for a meal with friends, and it's very embarrassing. And you have to go diving off to the loo. Yeah, according to the doctors, it doesn't happen. I'll just sit here then and have an accident. Right, people, it's past the witching hour. I've got to go and make my bed. Bet you're all going to climb in yours and you won't have to make it. I've got to make mine. Because silly sod didn't do it before. I've just finished going around this row and no, I mean mine's stripped off. I've just got the mattress, Chris. I'm not talking about fluffing it up. I'm talking about there's no sheet on it. No, I stripped it off to wash it. And then silly me didn't make it. But I made it when I stripped it this morning. It would have been done now, wouldn't it? Well, my GP I mean, I've had the colonoscopy, I've had the, what do you call it, endoscopy. Can't find anything. I've done the food diaries. I've done them for about 10 years. Can't find a trigger. I'm sure they think I'm making it up. Right, how many squares have I got? Probably enough for... Yeah, I'm going to bed. I go to bed around about midnight. Well, after I've made my bed, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've made 9 squares, but I did make 4 before I came on. So I've got 9 squares. It's probably enough for 1 row. How soul destroying. Just 1 row going across, probably. You're lying on your bed. Lucky you. The thing about me with this big bag is I've got to crochet up, and this is only 1 bag. I've got about another 2. Well, thank you, everybody. And maybe I might make a video if I can get me flipping. If my computer man has worked his miracles. If he hasn't, I'll have to get him back again. Look at the bags under the eyes. Oh, maybe I need to book a holiday to Turkey. That'll be one way of finishing me off, won't it? Go to Turkey and never come back, yeah. Right, everybody. Hope you've all done the thumbs ups. And don't forget, if you subscribe, if I do make a video, it's free to subscribe. You don't have to pay. If you want to pay, you can buy me a coffee, but that's just purely voluntarily. But if you subscribe, then maybe you might get told if I do actually make a video. That, theoretically speaking, is why you subscribe. Is because they tell you, allegedly, that I've made a video. They may not do, but they may do. Okie dokie. Right, I'm going to go now. Go and put my sheet on. And no, I'm not going to see if I've won on the lottery. I'm going to leave that a surprise till tomorrow. So I can go to bed thinking I might have won. That's a good way, isn't it? Yeah. So good night, everybody. Thank you for your company, for keeping me company while I've crocheted 5 granny squares. I shall let you know my progress. And I will show you all the 9 shawls and bore you stupid. So nighty, 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 nighty. Bye, everybody. Bye, everybody. I'm not saying your names one by one by one. You know if you're in and you're not. Bye now.